if y'all been wondering where we've been, we're going to show you. You can look behind me right here. We cleaned up all of that stuff, parts and the project pieces that was back here in a pile, because the whole time I was editing the last video, all I could focus on was how much junk was in the background. Now that was all stuff we're going to be using, but it's so much visual clutter that I couldn't even pay attention. But we're getting ready to work on the next thing that we're about to start, and that is this. It's an on speaker that we got donated to us a while back, and we used it for a little while, but you can't really turn it up past 10 or 12 because what happened to it is it fell off of a trailer while it was being loaded, and it's cracked right here, and it vibrates really bad. So we're gonna disassemble it and build a wooden box for it. So we have it all disassembled now. What we're left with is a front housing here, this piece. This is the part that's messed up. These two things were broke off. It's cracked right here. We're not going to reuse that, I don't think. It's got two vents. We'll need to keep that in mind so the speaker can still breathe the way it's supposed to. This dust guard, we're going to try and reuse that. We got two handle legs here that I'm not sure if we're going to use those or not. And then you got the main housing, which is a lot beefier than I thought it would be, but nonetheless, it's busted right there, all the way down through here and all the way down through there. I could probably epoxy it and maybe fix it, but I kind of just want to build a wooden box for it because when I was in high school I studied some acoustic stuff for vehicle audio and helped some people with some pretty cool audio builds. I know this isn't for a vehicle, but it would work. And first, let me apologize for how shiny this table is. We're going to have to do something about that. I ground the weld splatter off of it, and I was not thinking about how it was going to affect the videos. So I apologize for that, but this is what we're left with. A couple of piles of screws, the main control board, which has all the controls for the back inside it. We got signal wires, two LED wires, an LED ring, high range driver with a heat sink on the back of it, with a little dust cap, a light shield, another RGB light, and a 15-inch sub that's actually pretty good made. The magnet's not massive, but it's pretty big. I believe it's designed to take low and some entry mid signals. So it's not full bass, but I think I have a mitigation for that inside that I'm going to bring out here. I've got an old Bluetooth speaker that's for a surround sound system that the surround sound system failed, but the speaker was still good. But it'll only take transmissions from the receiver it came from. So I got to take it apart and see if I can tap one of these signal wires, and I'll have another, it's either an 8 or a 10-inch sub to run with this inside the wooden box. So we're going to see what we can do with that, get these components all cleaned up, and then start building the box for it. So we got the wood to start building the box for this speaker, and a lot of you have told me that I need a clip-on mic, and I've got them on the way. I don't know when they'll be here, but I've got some mics on the way. So if you hear background noise and stuff, that's my children playing and throwing things and throwing dirt, but we're still going to get through it with the crappy audio that we've had. So we picked up some plywood. We're going to draw out some circles on here, get the hole cut for the speaker, get the ports cut for the speaker to be able to breathe the way it's supposed to, and build a box. So, stop it. While we're out here working on this Bluetooth speaker, I come outside to let my side vent flaps down on the building canopy, and I found something. Look at this little thing. I think it's just a ringneck snake. I don't think he's dangerous, but over here, if you come with me, so you can lift these flaps up on the bottom of this, and it lets air come in the bottom. And I picked up one of the bricks that holds that down, and I found him. Look at him. He's very, very little. Super tiny little snake. If you want to know how big he is, let's find something for comparison. That's him compared to a green tea bottle cap. He doesn't appear to... I don't think he likes the green tea bottle cap. Oh, he's warming up to it. They're going to be friends, I think. He's very, very little. Probably 4 inches long. Definitely enough to make me pull my hand back really quick when I first seen him. We're going to take him over here and let him go and continue on with the speaker box build. So we have the main part of the box built. I don't have the footage of it because my children were out here playing. My mics haven't came yet, of course. So I went ahead and built most of it, but I left the inside to where I can show you what we done. I mean, otherwise it would just be a lot of skill saw sounds and straight cuts. It wasn't nothing fancy other than the one circle, but I just cut it out with a jigsaw. The reason that we wanted to do this is because we were donated this nice tool organizer along with a smaller one right here, and I didn't have anywhere to put those, and they need to be over here with the tools, so when I start getting a collection of nuts and bolts for springs and things for when we really start picking up and building stuff more frequently, which seems to be pretty quick. That last video is doing better than any of the other ones, so seems like a doorway. But yeah, we needed this. That used to, the big speaker that's over there used to just lay up here, and it was just taking up wasted space, and I needed it for that. So we built a more compact one. It's not as thick here. So maybe I can either hang it up or at least put wheels on it and roll it around. So that was the reason that we really needed to get the speaker out of the way. I mentioned that we were going to try and use this, but I can't. The reason that I can't is because I can't find an output of just a signal on the board that is inside there. And when I removed the wireless transmitter that received the signal and sent, you know, what the speaker needed to do, there's no pins on the motherboard, control board part of it for me to solder to. Thought I could just pull that and it would have an input, and then I would run the input from the big speaker and solder it to those pins. But I can't seem to find them. I've looked up diagrams and diagrams, and there is no pins that are directly inputted because it's on a tape switch. I know that seems complicated for anybody who don't do electronic things, but I can't use that. It's over there, but I can't use it. So we're just going to put this back together with the speakers that it had, just in a larger, thinner box. And it'll still be pretty cool. So we're going to pop the lid off of this and show you inside what we have going on. So here is the the inside of it. And I only used 1/2 inch plywood, but to mitigate some of the baffling that happens, I've got these 1x4s that were just laying in my yard. So we repurposed those, and they'll keep that baffling out and give it some rigidity and give me something to screw to from each inside. But essentially we just have a large hole. We're going to put a small hole up there for the tweeter or the high frequency little small loudspeaker driver. And then somewhere in here I'm going to put a slot port that equals the same volume that these were. So the volume of the inside of this is equal to what the old one was, give or take a few. It's not exact, but so the volume internally is the same. So the ports need to be the same internal volume. The only difference is, instead of it being 2 small ports, it'll be 1 slotted port. So we'll come back to you after we get all the pieces cut for that. And then right now it's just screwed together with minimum amounts of screws. So after I get it all built, I'm going to take it back apart. I'll take it back apart, and I've got liquid nails that I'll put to mitigate the vibrations. And then I've got some silicone to seal up all the joints so it won't leak air. So after we get some more pieces cut, we'll come back to you and let you see the progress. So here's the slot port installed. All the holes are cut. Let you see down in there. So we got the front laid down right here. That's the sides, the top and bottom. Once you see this side of it. So now we just got to make sure everything we got cut, the window for the control board and the holes, make sure everything works the way it's supposed to. So we're going to get this laid down, get the speaker put inside here, get the control board in its hole. So we went ahead and siliconed all the joints on the inside to make it airtight, glued the front on. So now it shouldn't leak air anywhere. We did go ahead and test it off camera with some music, and it sounds pretty great. It's vibrating a little bit, but that's partially because there was no glue on the front panel or the back panel. So now we're going to go ahead and hit this thing with a sander and let it cure overnight. So that's what it'll look like for the next 2.5 hours, more than likely. And then after about 2 hours, I'll go back over it one time with 120 and get it super smooth, round these edges off a little bit so they're not so sharp. And then we'll let it sit up overnight. I'll come out here tomorrow, reassemble everything, put the back on it. There's no need in me speeding up the entire video of me sanding it just for what we're doing here. This is just a quick project to get us through so we can start the next really cool thing, some more welding. We're probably going to build a scooter. So just know that what you just seen is what it's going to continue looking like. We'll come back to the video whenever the whole thing's sanded down and reassembly's happening. So we have everything in here, screwed down, siliconed, hooked up, taped. We just run the silicone and the liquid nails around the outside. That's what the front looks like too, by the way. Since you didn't get to see the front, this is exactly what it looks like. It's got liquid nails in the middle, silicone on both sides. This looks a little rough, But I think we're going to build like a little frame around this so you can't see it sticking out the side. Just a little frame. I don't know what we're going to do. This may need a fan. Being outside in the heat the way it is, sometimes it would overheat. So I can put a 120 millimeter 12 volt fan right here for like a CPU, for a computer fan, and it'll help keep that cool. And if I build a frame around it out of 1x2s or something like that, looking from the front or the back, you won't be able to see this. I just don't like how it looks. This part looks okay. The rest of it just kind of looks like it should be covered up with something. But anyway, this is what it looks like. This is how we sealed up the whole box on the front and the back, down each one of these on the outside right here. So between this board and this, it's got the same thing. It's got 2 lines of silicone and a line down the middle of liquid nails. So when you see it the next time, it'll be completely sealed up and ready to use. So here it is. It's been mostly sanded down. It's got some other things that need to be sanded, like couldn't get real close to this, so I got to get this black off. Should I leave it raw wood, or should I torch it, or should I paint it? I really think it would look better black, but I like everything I paint everything black. There's the new board inside it. The back hadn't been sanded, it's just been glued on. So I got to sand that part down tomorrow. But as far as the video goes, we're going to let this be the end of the video so I can try and get it out on Thursday like the rest of them. It sounds great. It looks a little odd. The way this is just kind of stuck here. It looks odd, but it serves its purpose. And we freed our space up back here. Now we can throw all this in the trash. I'll probably keep the grill, but the rest of this is going to be garbage. We got our bin organizer over there. And the next thing we start is going to be the scooter. And it's going to be some more welding. And I think it'll be pretty cool. So we hope you enjoy this little shorter video. It's kind of a gap filler for us while we order parts and build up a little bit of money. All in all, we've got $48 in this. The trailer cost us $133, so we're just trying to knock out these smaller things, get my yard cleaned up a little bit, and get all that stuff out of the way, so when we start our really time-focused builds and money-focused builds, all these smaller projects and things that just needed to be done and out of the way are finished. Guys, we really need y'all to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Everything else I have, I just need the subscribers now. I got to get 500. I've got 43. If I can get to 500, or really 1,000 is the goal that I need. Whatever y'all can do to help me do that, that would be awesome. Because then I can build some really cool stuff. I'll probably be able to get either an arc droid or a plasma table. We'll get our new shop. And then I can really start building some stuff. I've got 3 cars sitting right now. One of them's mine. The other 2 can be mine for very cheap. And I can turn those into something cool. But once you get into vehicles, you really gonna need money. And I've got the money to spend on the vehicles. I just don't really have the money to spend on projects and the stuff we need to build cooler stuff. So that's really where the money comes in. If I never make any money from these videos, that's okay. I still hope you enjoy watching them. And eventually it's just gonna be slower. I'll be pulling straight out of pocket and just paying off of what I make on stocks. Actually, when I go in here tonight, I've got to liquidate some stocks, and that's what's going to build the scooter. That, and surprisingly, my wife said she'll pay for some of it. But we love her. She's going to be our camera person for that one. That way it's not still framed. And we're just going to keep doing it and see what happens. And then one day I'll be able to tell my son, hey, I did it. I'm a YouTuber. That way if he ever wants to do it on his own, then he'll know how. He's kind of lost interest in being a YouTuber now. But he asked. I'm not going to give up, because if I stop and I give up, then that's telling him that it's okay just to quit whatever he was doing, stop with all the work, because this is a lot of work. I've spent a couple of $1,000s already just on software and hard drives, storage, and cameras. So it's not easy. But please subscribe. Please share the pages. Our Facebook page seems to be doing well, but it's not at a point where it can collect any money either. We love you guys, and we hope you enjoy everything that we modify, because here at Overthought, we modify everything.